now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel. Shabbat shalom.
Khan, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Have everybody else a peaceful Shabbat.
That's right. Pray that everybody is not working, but having it peaceful, have peace within themselves, in tune with nature, tune with the Most High. You know, you guys are studying the scriptures, you know, and that's what we really got to get back to. We really got to get in the habit of reading, memorizing these scriptures and rehearsing these righteous acts. Because that's the only way that you're going to withstand the wiles of the devil. All right. And there's many temptations. Hey, if you all can hear us, just go ahead and put a 1 in the box. Yeah, okay. You all got it already. Hey, and if I start going in and out, just let me know. Hey, in the comment section, going in and out, and I'll jump out, because I told you guys I'm off grid. So I'm way out here in the Hallelujah Mountains, in the heavens. So, you know, not too much signal can get out here. So gonna have to bear with us and everything. Sometimes it might be hit and miss. So just letting you all know ahead of time. But yeah, rehearsing these righteous acts is so important, you all. And the only way that you're going to get stronger in the faith is to practice these righteous acts. There's no other way around it. All right, brother, you want to read? We're going to read Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11. So, brother, if you want to read the first two, and or however you want me to read the first two, we can make it work.
All right, sure. I'll don't matter to me. I'll read the first two.
Okay, start it. Yep.
It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all of thy work.
That's right. All right. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. You know, something, Israel, you know, I was doing, and it's not like I didn't already know already, but when I was watching the sunset yesterday on my property, I noticed the sun before it went down over the other hill. You could see the moon. So I went inside and I got my welder's glasses. I have some welder's glasses because I used to weld, you know, back in eons ago. And so I put on my welder's glasses and I looked at the sun. And then I took them off and looked at the moon. There's no scientist out there that can tell me that the sun is supposed to be thousands of times bigger than the moon. That's a damn lie. When you study the Most High's luminaries and when you really examine it for yourself, you'll see, just like Enoch explained, the luminaries, the sun and the moon, are exactly the same exact size. It's just that the sun is 7 times brighter. So it's amazing when you're out here, you know, out here in nature, and you test it for yourself. You'll see that these heathens are nothing but lies. They didn't go to no damn moon. So this goes to show you that the creation of the Most High testifies of His goodness. All right, and you know that's something that we should be thankful for every day, and looking at the signs the Most High gives us and being thankful for them. All right, so we're going to be dealing with willful ignorance of Israel. Now, too many times, y'all, Israel, is that our people get warnings from the Most High all the time. And because we are a chosen people. Matter of fact, you know what? Before I go here, let me take it back somewhere. I just thought about this. And brother, man, feel free to jump in anytime.
I'll bring it out, Doc.
All right. So let's reedify this here, Yashara, because we need to know why the Most High is dealing with us the way he is. All right, because somewhere down the line we forgot who we are as a people. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6, it says, "For you are a holy people unto Yahweh Elohakya. Yahweh Elohakya has chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth." So y'all remember when Eitan read in Ezra 6 and the last verse where it said that all the other nations are as dung. Even though we all come from Noah, all the other nations are as dung. And the Most High, through the promise of Abraham, preserved his seed through Abraham, through the 12 tribes of Israel. And now we're scattered to the four corners. All right. It goes on to say, Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would guard the oath. Y'all hear that? Y'all know what an oath is? An oath is a promise that cannot be broken. Would guard the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. That right there should make goosebumps come on you right there. All right. It says, "Has Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Mizraim." So again, you got to realize it was not because we were big in number. He said we were the fewest in number, but because of the oath he had made with his forefathers. So don't think just because you are chosen, you can go out there and do whatever the hell you want to do and think you're going to get away with it. Don't work like that. Yeah, you try going out there and ignoring his laws and not keeping his laws and see what happens. Yeah, something may not happen the first day or second day, but over the years, it will happen. Just like the Most High told Adam that he would die in one day. And one day to us is 1,000 years to us is only one day to the Most High. And did not Adam die within that 1,000 years, within that one day? Hey, he sure did. Hey, do you have anything, brother, before I go to James?
Oh, 4? Man, yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
All right.
So spirit.
Let's go to James 4:17. All right, I wanted to start off with this because we can't go around Yasharel saying that we don't know or continue to be willfully ignorant, especially when the truth has came to you in some form or fashion. And I guarantee you, every brother that's within the U.S. has been exposed to the truth in one form or the other, that who they are as a people, whether they ignored it or whether they chose to, investigate it. They got the message, and that's enough. All right. So it goes on to say, James chapter 4, and starting with verse 13, it says, "Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away." The point here is you can be out doing something, and it could be something as innocent as going to the store or getting some groceries for your family or whatever, and all of a sudden you're in a fatal car accident, God forbid. That's it. That is your judgment. So whatever you've done unto that gets judged. I mean, that when you really think about it, it's kind of scary in a sense, but it makes you like, hey, every day you're going to have to keep these commandments with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength every day. All right. Because I'm telling you, our people are dying left and right because of willful ignorance. Our people are just dying. We don't learn our lesson for some reason. It's like, okay, for an example, like a DUI or something like that. Let's say somebody gets a DUI, right? You would think that they would learn after the first DUI, but I've known brothers who've gotten 3 DUIs like within 10 years. And I know there's a specific stipulation. If you get 3 DUIs within 10 years, I think your license is permanently suspended. If I'm not correct, correct me if I'm wrong. You would think people would learn after these lessons. So when the Most High sends you warnings, you're not keeping the laws, consider it as a blessing because he's trying to get your attention. He's trying to let you know that, hey, you're having all these issues because you're doing the one thing that I'm trying to tell you to do. You're not keeping the laws. You're not keeping my statutes. And like, how hard is it to keep the Most High's law? They're not hard. Anybody who tells you that you cannot keep, it's impossible to keep the commandments, they're a liar. They are liars. Because it doesn't require much to keep the Most High's commandments. All right. Like the Shabbat. All right. Don't work. What's so hard about that? Don't buy and sell. And you can there's many things you can do on the Shabbat. You can get out in nature and reminisce on the Most High, a fellowship with your brothers, your sisters. There's a lot of things you can do on the Shabbat. But just don't do those things that the scripture talks against. No sex on the Sabbath, no cooking, no gathering up sticks and starting fires and all that kind of stuff. Just simple things like that. All right. It goes on to say, verse 15, for that ye ought to say, if Yah's will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and does it not, to him it is sin. So, excuse my language, but when you got niggas out there doing wicked, knowing they shouldn't be doing that, what do you think is going to be the outcome? Why do you think are people getting shot down by cops and stuff like that? They're out there doing wicked stuff. You don't see brothers that are keeping the commandments out there being shot by cops. You don't see righteous sisters. You don't see righteous sisters out there hoeing around and just trying to see all the men that they can screw.
It's a good example is you know how you got now I know most of our community, we can relate to this. There's always that one brother in the family, right, that's got the DUS, the third, DUS, the fourth, right, driving under suspension. But why do they get that? Is because I'm gonna equate that to like keeping the commandments. You can't be out here with no job, right? you don't have a license, you don't have insurance, but you in the car driving and expect not to get caught, right? Something's gonna happen, right? If you're on the job because you don't have a job, you're gonna be driving all the time, right? You're gonna be on the road more than people are that are on the job for 8 hours a day, so the police don't got a chance to bother them because they working 8 hours a day or 10 or 12 or however many you work, right? But then you got the brothers that are, you don't have no job, right? That's the equivalent of you not keeping the commandments. So if you don't have no job and you just roaming the streets all day, you're going to be more into the eyes of the law enforcement that's around there. You're going to be easily detectable because you're not somewhere working at some place 8 to 10 hours a day. And then 9 times out of 10, they don't have insurance either. So when they get pulled over, it's over with. They end up getting caught in jail, for something small. But it's the same thing, right? Man, you can't, be doing everything wicked and expect stuff to turn out right. Hey, man, you might get away for a year, 2 years, anything like that. But after a while, you get comfortable. And then that's when you end up getting caught. Go ahead, brother. That was it.
All right. There's a famous one. Everybody should know this one. I mean, this is, if you don't know this one, then you haven't been doing your due diligence. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected the knowledge, I will also reject you. All right. That you shall be no priest to me, seeing you have forgotten the what? Seeing that you have forgotten the Torah of Elohim, I will also forget your children. Now, when you look at this, and it says, for my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because you have rejected knowledge. And it's interesting because the Most High specifically lays out what this knowledge is. It is the keeping of the commandments. And it goes on to say, because you have forgotten the Torah of your Elohim, I will also forget your children. So he's talking about our descendants. This is the only captivity in history where we have been scattered, like literally scattered as a people, like to the four corners. Everywhere else, other captivities, we were pretty much together in our captivities. All right. And, Deuteronomy 4 testifies of that. Let's look at Deuteronomy 24 and 27 and 28. Give me a second here. Let me highlight that.
Check it out.
All right. So we're talking about the willful ignorance of Israel. All right. And Yahweh shall scatter you. This is for those of you who are just getting on. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 27. If someone can write these down in the comments. So for those who are just getting on, they can catch the scriptures. All right. And Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number amongst the heathens. So you know how everybody's like, I got hear a lot of people say, man, it feels like I'm alone, and there's nobody to fellowship with, and this and that. Well, it feels like that because we are scattered amongst the heathens. All right. So it's going to feel like you're few in number. So you can be somewhere in Nevada or what's those, Idaho, or hardly ain't no, Israel out there. You're somewhere in the middle of Idaho, and of course, and even other places, Illinois, wherever,
Nebraska.
All right, yeah, Nebraska, Kansas.
2% Israel. You know what I mean? 98% heathens.
You're gonna be out there with them corn huskers, boy. You're gonna be out with them big old white boys and big old field eating corn white boys. It's gonna feel like you feel numbered because this is prophecy. We are scattered amongst the heathen, so we are few in number. But here, to make it even worse, it's like, all right, and ye shall be left few in number amongst the heathen, whether Yahweh shall lead you. So that means to the four corners of the earth, like every continent on this so-called flat earth, there's Israel. All right, speaking the languages of their captives. All right, if they're in parts of Africa, they're speaking Swahili or whatever. If they're in South America, they speak in Spanish. If they're, of course, in America, we're speaking English. All right, but we're not speaking our native tongue.
That's right.
All right, verse 28, it says, and there ye shall serve Elohim, the works of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. Now, this is the doozy right here, because this is the part that's killing us. So our people, because we are a spiritual people, by nature. But because we have lost our ways, we have lost the ways of the Most High, we've gravitated towards all these other different gods, these religions. You got Christians who worship the blue-eyed, white-haired, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus, the Cesare Borgia, or the Zeus, as they call him. That's the Europeans' God. You think the Europeans is going to worship, serve a black God? No. No, they're going to do that.
And
why would Israel exactly? And why would Israel serve a God that don't look like them anyway? Our God looks like us. Yahweh looks like us. We are created in the image of Yahweh. All right. And now you got our people, they wearing crosses and they wearing Buddhas and all kinds of stuff on their chests, thinking that they have found the truth, thinking that they have arrived. But only they just caught up in a bunch of confusion, willful ignorance. And a lot of people who've been exposed to this truth, who they are as a people, I'm talking about our people, they ignore it. So what happens when you ignore the warning of the Most High? You may not get another warning after that. You may not. But the Most High knows your heart. The Most High knows how many warnings it's going to take. But the Most High knows that if it only takes one warning and you're not going to listen, no, that's it. You're done. And man, our people are getting so bad. Like I wanted to show a documentary, but it's so long though, and I forgot to download it. But anyway, they were talking about the hoods, right? And one particular hood in Oakland, California, it's gotten so bad that it's unrepairable. Like like the heathens don't even want to deal with it. The laws are not enforced at all, and it's like people just do. But that's what they want. That's what the heathens want, because they want us to destroy ourselves, so they don't have to be accountable for what they've done and their forefathers done.
That's right.
But they're going to be accountable. So our hoods are getting so bad now. It's like, they're saying that things are going to get worse before they get better. And you look at our people, man. You like, how much worse can our people get before it all goes down? And that frustrates me. It frustrates brother Aton, because it's like, if we just realize as a people how easy it is to keep the Most High's laws, how are people caught up in these other religions and false idols and false gods and serving the holidays more than the heathens are celebrating them? That's just like mind blowing. And I wrestle a lot with the Most High on that. It's like, well, how do our people not see that?
We don't care. We
Yeah.
don't care, brother. That's the problem. Our people, we really don't care who we are. We're just here. We're just here in America. But we got, polo, all these kind of clothes out there, Bugattis and chasing BMWs, and they want to chase the bag. They don't care about who they were as a people, what their culture is, what their true culture is. This culture that we have right now in America is a culture that's given to us. I mean, like, what is black culture when you really look at it? Right? It's nothing but stuff that the heathen gave you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All the holidays that they have, that's the culture that we do every day. It's a shame. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like the willful ignorance. This is what the scriptures say. We don't even have we don't have a desire to see who we are. We don't have a desire to resurrect the customs of our people. Right, man? You look at the Mexicans and all these other nations, man, when they come over here, they always still uphold the customs of their people. Right? We got Chinese police over here policing their own people in Chinatown. Right? Because they're up. I mean, like, if you look at the Chinese New Year's and whenever they hold the holidays, man, they're doing all their own customs. What about us? When the Feast of the Tabernacles come up, hey, man, it's only a handful of Israel that's keeping those feasts. But that is our true custom.
Hey, remember those videos? Maybe you can pull that up, man, to find it. But remember those videos? People were like on this like little fetish thing where people were dressing up as Hamites and stuff. They were dressing up. I mean, these were Negroes, man, dressing up as Hamites and dressing up as Chinese folks, and it's like we grasp everybody else's culture except for our own. Let me bring this one out right quick.
Bring it out.
This one right here. This is Isaiah 1:3. It says, the ox knows his owner and the ass his master's crib, but Yasharel does not know. My people do not consider. You know what that's saying? They don't give a damn. They don't even care. It's like Brother Aitan was saying. They do not care. Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Yasharel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. We've gone backwards, like since the 50s, and from what it was almost damn nearly 98% marriage percentage rate in the so-called black community. Now it's down to damn nearly under 27, probably less than that now.
And it's a willful ignorance, like you say. Because like we know and we see that our communities are destroyed. Like us as a people, we don't have anything, right? We spend billions of dollars with these heathens every year, to the point that if we was our own nation, we'll be 6th in the world, right? And we're only 12% of the population, 40 million, right? 40 million people amongst 297 or 293 million heathen. All right, that's that's ridiculous, because I think it's 334 or somewhere around there, right? That's the population of the United States, and we only make up 12%. Of course, they try to bolster our numbers with like another 2%, adding in mamzeers, right? But we know, Israelites, we know that they are really not our people, right? Baruch chapter 2. Hey, brother, you wanted to say anything before I bring this up?
Bring it out, brother. Bring it out.
All right. So it says, as thou spakest by the servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. Right. Now, this goes against, your local camp doctrine, right? Where they try to tell you that, yeah, we're Pandamanians, so we all these different races, right? We're all these different races, and they make up the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Which is a
Garbage.
complete fallacy, right? Right? So it says here, right, and then we can clearly see that no matter what nation we're in, right, we are truly the minority, right? You can go to Britain, anywhere on the earth. We are truly a minority, but yet we don't question what has happened to our people. Why does this brother way in America look like the same brother that's over there in Russia, right, running for the Olympics? Right? You gotta, you had to question. You'd be like, okay, so how did my people get so spread apart? Right? This is like willful ignorance. You look at it and you see it, and then you know what? You don't question it. You just waiting for Christmas time, right? For saying, you telling your kids that some fat white man that's climbing down the chimney to bring him presents. You got to leave some cookies out for Santa. It says, for I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Right. And this is why Brother Daniel and myself, and you got other people too that are also in the truth, that they try to, they try to wake our people up, essentially. Even though the camps, their doctrine is not sound, but at least they know that the so-called Negroes, they are Israelites, right? They do try to teach that we need to keep the commandments, and and that's a good thing, right? Even though the doctrine is not sound, but we need to wake up, right? We need to remember ourselves in the lands of our captivities. How are you going to complain about any of the stuff that's going on here, any of the racism, any of this stuff when this is not your land? Hell, man, the white man let you go. You didn't even fight for it. We didn't even fight for it. Like, we really have to think about the situation that we're in and how blessed we are that the Most High has, he's given us a reprieve, right? Do you know how many captivities we went through? And right now you happen to be at a time where you're alive and you're going through a reprieve through your captivity.
Facts.
Right? There's no reason why we couldn't be able to keep the laws right now. Man, you're not getting your teeth knocked in and getting gruel shoved down your throat, right? You're not getting buck break, right? You're not, right? We have all the capabilities right now to come together as a people and to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. And then guess what? We would be able to get rid of any kind of prejudice that is against our people. You can't go against a people that's being holy. Why? Because we have God on our side. That's our biggest weapon. That's the thing that they are most afraid of, is us coming back to the Most High.
That's it right
You'll
there.
be a blameless people. But we don't want that, though. We want to play willfully ignorant.
They can care less if we like when Malcolm X and all these other revolutionaries that was here, trying to bring our people together. They don't really. I mean, that wasn't really a threat to them. But what's really a threat, and it's something that they will make sure, and this is what they've been making sure that will never happen, that our people come back to the commandments. But they know that is going to be the problem. I'm telling y'all, there's a fear that these folks, the heathens, will have of you. I can feel it, even around where I work at. I know these heathens fear me. I know they fear me because I do not keep my faith quiet. Every damn person where I work at, no, I'm a Messianic Israelite, and no, I practice. I don't play when it comes to my holy days or the Most High's holy days. They know this. They won't even try to challenge it. And sometimes you can just sense the fear in them. I can see it, y'all. I can really see it. And if they know, and I guarantee you, the thing that they're saying in their mind, if he's like that, what if What if all the Negroes started to become like that? We fucked. We're screwed. Didn't mean to use that language, but I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I mean, they are thinking because they know they don't think that they're sitting down and they're watching us, y'all. They're watching us, and they're just seeing what we're gonna do. They're seeing that if we know who we are, and the sad part about it, on the low, they know who we are, but it's like they're looking to see. It's like, man, I hope these jokers don't. They don't. I hope they stay ignorant. I hope they stay caught up in their blindness, so we can live on this earth a little longer. You know, but they know the day that we wake up and come back to the Almighty Yahweh, it's over. This is why I do the Shabbat post every on my channel. So y'all know if you're not tracking this, every Shabbat. So Friday sunset, I post a Shabbat post. Shabbat post. All right, y'all need to go and read that and stay encouraged because that's going to encourage our people to keep the Shabbat. And more of our people have been waking up, keeping the Shabbat. But that's our goal, is to turn the hearts of many as we can to the Most High, to His commandments, laws, and statutes. That's our message, y'all. Outside of that, there's nothing else to say. I mean, honest of rebukes, but that's going to be in keeping with the commandments.
That's right.
Even the 7-year war that we're doing, that's it. That's going to be in keeping in with the commandments, turning our sisters and our brothers to the commandments, whether you listen to it or not. It's going to be totally on you. What you got, bro?
Well, I was going to finish reading up this. So it says 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." Right? And we're slow. But we are making a slow progress. Tonight is a testament. Well, I mean, this Shabbat is a testament, as other Shabbats. We got brothers and sisters on that are, that are keeping the laws, right? And it says, "And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear, that they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord." Right? You know what I find interesting? I've never had a brother, right? So-called Negro or whatever, right? I never had them when I explained it to the scriptures to them and let them know that they're Hebrews. I never tell them. They never tell me that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that, right? Because that is the true spirit waking up within inside each and every brother, because they know who they really are. Right, man. You can't go to a white person and tell them that they're a Hebrew without them looking at you crazy, right? But you go to a brother, you be like, you know what, man, you're really God's chosen people, right? You're really a Hebrew Israelite. They know deep within their spirits that that's who they are, right? I guarantee you that every person that's ever heard the commandments, right, one of our people, the commandments resonate with their souls, right? Whether they keep them or not, that's just something different. But I guarantee you that it resonates with their souls. That's how you know right there for sure that the spirit bears witness, and it is a willful ignorance on our part, because instead of investigating that, our people will turn back to the ways of the heathen, right? Going to nightclubs, wearing wigs, trying to see how many women that you can sleep with, right? Just the constant wickedness that is among our people, constantly, fighting your brother, hating, right? Not congratulating, right? Not doing nothing. I mean, just the basic, if you just kept the basic laws, right? Our people would be in the situation that we're in, right? Because we don't have the mind frame to try to move forward into a position of power before the Most High, right? Your people, you know what I'm saying? Like, our people as a whole, we don't think about how to position ourselves, right, in the land of the heathen, to make plays where people are forced to listen to us. But because we're so good as a people, being so righteous, that they wouldn't mind granting what we wish for, because the scriptures does say that when we keep the commandments, that even our enemies will be at peace with us. It's just simply amazing to me that even after all of these years, being through all that we've been through, that we're still at a crawl. We're still at a slow pace. We're still moving that of a baby. We still think that we niggas, African Americans. What the hell is the African American? That doesn't even make sense. You don't know who you are.
That's a Jesse Jackson thing.
Those Hamites will come over here and tell you that I'm not a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an They'll tell you straight up that they are not your people. But yeah, you over here with the hotep.
Mm-hmm.
Raising up the Ankh and talking about that you came from the land of Egypt, and that you're an Egyptian, you're an ancient Egyptian, when the Egyptians is the people that are the first people that put our people in captivity. The Hamites know that they're not your people. Those Africans, they know they're not your people. That's why they don't support you. That's why they always talking down on you. But it's willful ignorance on our part because we don't accept it. In fact, we want to be accepted by everybody.
Yep. And the sad part about it, even if they don't accept us, it's like we still trying to. It's like our people still trying to cling on to them no matter what, even unto death. That's the sad part. That's what you call Stockholm syndrome.
It says, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. Right? That's what we're doing now. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the ways of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God. Which means that we're the only people on the earth that have the possibility of having a God of our own. Nobody else has a God. This is why we're the chosen people of the Most High God, the 12 tribes of Israel. You have to come from the line of Jacob. And they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Right? And that's what we're aiming for. Right? We're aiming for to go back to our land. I don't want to be in some land that's not mine. Man, this is not our land. We got to pay taxes on this land, right? We got the face of the heathen on the currency, right? This is not your land. Nothing about this screams that this belongs to any Israelite or so-called black man. It's the willful ignorance. Every time I look up, you got some unlearned brother talking about, they about to put Harriet Tubman on one of the currency faces. What? Right? I want to get back to Israel. Well, we can keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, and everyone has their own inheritance, and you don't have to pay taxes on your land. That you could walk in the midst of the land and eat from the tree of life. That's where I want to go. I want to go back to Israel. But the willful ignorance amongst our people that keep them trapped in the land of their captivity. Y'all like it here. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that my people, they love it here, and they don't want to go anywhere else.
I've been convinced a long time ago that they love it here. They love it like gravy on rice. They'll fight you, and then they'll fight you. They'll fight you if you try to take that away from them. You ain't taking my Christmas away from me. I grew up with that. My children have Christmas. I'm giving my kids gifts every year. I'm one of my in-laws to celebrate Thanksgiving. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's fellowshipping. Our people, boy, it's a mess, man. And when it's said and done, brothers, look, we are supposed to be the priest, and that's a whole nother lesson right there. Because these brothers, we got to get them. We got to step up, y'all. We have not been doing a good job in rebuking and guarding these commandments as a people, as the men. All right. I'm not talking about the women, because the women don't have the ability to guard the commandments. The guarding the commandments was not given to the women, it was given to the men. All right. The men are the protectors, and we are the priest. And we were to uphold the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes. All right.
Yeah,
and
brother.
now and now it's so bad now, where you got I'm seeing so much where our brothers have been effeminized to the point where it's like it's unbelievable. It's probably if you're a true man, you'll probably stick out like a sore thumb. You're a true brother. You rocking your beard and everything, your fringes. Oh, you'll stand out. You'll stand out as a real man. I'm telling you.
That's right. Stand firm.
I get stares all the time. I'm like, who is that joker with fringes on? He got a beard. He looks intimidating.
And you know what? To be honest,
they want you to be smooth shaven.
I know we get on the women a lot, right? We get on the women a lot, brother Daniel and myself. We get on the women a lot, but the 100% truth of the matter is, right, the women can only do what you allow them to do. Men, right? Yep. Brothers, the women are only doing what we're allowing them to do, right? We're the true leaders of the home. So, if you are going for it, if you're just allowing the things to be done in your face and you're just going for it, it's our fault at the end of the day, right? If we really have to stand up as brothers, right? And then we have an uphill climb, a lot of us, right? A lot of brothers that I see nowadays, they come from single mother homes, so it's going to be an uphill battle to gain your true masculinity, right? That's why you must study the scriptures, right? That's where you learn how to be a man, is the scriptures, keeping the commandments, right? That's the same thing that Solomon, right? When Solomon was about to become king, and his dad David, when he was getting ready to die, and he asked, how do I be a man? What did he tell him? He told him to keep the commandments. That's what'll make you a man. Men, if we're standing on our foundation, on keeping the commandments, everything else will follow. Right? You have to be blameless, right? You have to be blameless in the eyes of the woman that you're trying to wife, or whatever the case may be, right? Because we know how they are, right? If you look at Abraham and the brothers that we read about in the scriptures, hey man, those brothers were blameless, right? A lot of the brothers that were strong leaders in the scriptures that didn't have any problems, right? They were blameless, and that's how we have to be, right? We have to put off the old us, right? And the wicked us that like to do. You have to become blameless. Lead your community. Yeah, true. It's not easy, right? And it's something that you're going to have to come into a habit of doing. But you're going to have to lead your community. Wherever you're at, whenever you talk to your brothers, you got to be a staple, right? Something that your other brothers can look up to and they strive to want to be like. And the only way you can do that is staying in these laws, statutes, and commandments.
It's interesting. You mentioned earlier about the men being responsible, and the reason why Adam was held responsible for what he did is because he chose to listen to his broad than the Most High. So when that happened, guess what? The responsibility was Adam, because who was the priest? Who was dominion given to? Was it given to the woman, or was it given to the man? Of course, it was given to the man. So who's going to bear the most responsibility? Adam, because he chose to listen to his woman than listen to the Almighty, his creator. And so that's what you got to realize too. And that's the situation we're in. And like Brother Eitan said, the only reason why the women are in the condition that they're in is because man has allowed them to do that. Has incentivized them, has weaponized them. So, I mean, technically at the end of the day, it's our fault.
Yeah, sad as it is our fault, right? We don't have to do it, right? Even though a woman is easy, brothers, you don't have to do it, right? Just say no, right? Say no to the wiles of the devil, and then the situation around us will change. It says, what about single women? Biblically, single women, I guess, well, they need to be at home with their parents, right? Even if you have a child, you need to be home with your parents. That's what the scriptures say. Right, so we shouldn't have any single women out here running around that's not either with their at home with their parents, or married. Even if you have a child and you weren't able to work it out with your child's father, right, or your biblical husband, right, you should still be back home with your parents, right, with either your father helping raise the child. All right, Brother Daniel.
And hey, y'all, I mean, this thing is serious, y'all. And as we look at our people as a whole, scattered to the four corners, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble because so many of our people are going down the broad way instead of the narrow way. And the broad way is so easy is because it's like it feels good, tastes good, smells good. That's where everybody wants to go. It's the most popular way to do. But nobody wants to make that sacrifice. Nobody wants to travel the narrow road and keep the commandments and be a set apart people. Stand out. There used to be a time where our people took pride in what they did. Just imagine during King David's time. I mean, there was a brotherhood like no other. A brotherhood that was so strong that it could not be broken. And if the men were in line, everybody else were in line. The women were in line. I mean, it was just it was paradise. And then we just down the road, started going downhill until we got to Solomon's grandkids, and all of a sudden now the kingdom is split, and it's been split ever since. And we've been divided, we've been separated until Ezekiel. When you read Ezekiel 37, of course, he's going to bring everybody back together again. We're gonna be 12 nations, but we're gonna be one nation, but 12 tribes.
That's right.
So, don't think that we're on here just getting on you for the fun of it. No, we don't. And I wish it wasn't like this. I mean, I hate this place. I hate the fact that we have to come on here time after time, and say many of the same things over and over and over again. It gets really redundant. I can only imagine how our forefathers felt when they had to rebuke Isaiah, Jeremiah, all the prophets, Ezekiel. They had to go out and just constantly rebuke.
That's right.
And what did they get in return? Gripes. Gripes and complaints.
I'll tell you. Hey, brothers, man. Good gosh.
Just like Moshe. Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
But Moshe even said that. He even said in his words that these people, he told the Most High, he says, Most High Yahweh, these folks would rather stone me than listen to me. They wanted to stone Moses. Moses wasn't even gone. 40 days and 40 nights is not that long, y'all. They couldn't, and I'm pretty sure that as soon as Moshe went up the mountain, but they started they couldn't control themselves. They don't forgot all the miracles. They forgot the 10 plagues. They forgot that all of Pharaoh's army was destroyed in the Red Sea. Or whatever sea they calling it, it's like, how the hell did you forget that quick? And all of a sudden you back to 100 on wickedness.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like you go from being delivered. You seeing we haven't seen that stuff. We've never witnessed that in our time, but yet our forefathers witnessed that, and you see all that. Can you imagine seeing the sea split with your own eyes, and you walking through on dry ground? And then you see the whole army of Pharaoh destroyed, and you got Hamashiach amongst you with the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. And then these wicked Negroes turn around and turn wickedness to 100. They go from righteousness to wickedness and 100. That's like that got to be the craziest.
Hey, brothers,
What were
and
you
it's
saying?
and it's our fault, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100 today, right? Too, I always do with me and my brother, but it's our fault, really, right?
Mhm.
Here's an idea: we don't have to do it, right? You don't have to convince the sister to lay down with her, and you're not married. That'll stop baby mamas right there, right in their tracks. Because guess
Mm.
what? You won't give them a baby because you'll be keeping the commandments, and you won't be laying down with the sister unless you marry.
That's right.
There's a reason why they have 80% of all advertisement are geared toward women. It's because they know for a fact that they're easily manipulated. Right? This is why this is what the scriptures say. They say that Adam is in charge, the man is in charge because the man was not tricked by the serpent in the garden. The serpent came to Eve because she is easily manipulated. Why? Because women, that's just the way the Lord made them. Right? The Lord had to make their mind to be like that in order for Adam to be a leader. Right? As we see today, that's the way it is. Right? That's why women have most of the debt, so forth and so on. Right? Because this is how it is from the beginning. As much as people want to deny the scriptures and the truth of how it was in the garden and all of this, that is facts. That is the way that the world works today. Based off the same biological wants of the human being, period. That's how they craft all these laws, and that's how they craft advertisement and things that they want, and how they want to move the public off the basis of biology from the very beginning. So men, it's truly our fault, right? You didn't have to accept the apple that he gave you, but you did, though, right? And we're no better than it. And we're no better than Adam. Mm-hmm. Right? We get the Adam, so we get the fruit offered to us daily. Right? But it's up to you as men to be able to turn it down. And you have to do it daily. Right? It's something that's taxing, something that you have to be spiritually strong, and you have to have the endurance to go through day after day. That's why the scriptures say it's those that endure to the end will be the ones that'll be saved.
It's interesting, man. What's the greatest thing that men falls victim to? It's not alcohol. It's not the greatest thing. I mean, a man can overcome alcohol. It's not drugs. A man can overcome drugs. All right. It is the woman. Now, y'all might laugh at this, but throughout history, the greatest thing that the man has always become victim to is the woman. Why do you think that is? Goes all the way back to the very first deception. Think about it.
God.
What is the problem that most men have today as a result of? It's always a woman involved. If you really think about it.
That's right. And you got to realize, Israel, it's their nature, right? It's a woman's nature to try to tempt you with sex and things of that nature because, right, this is the way that the Lord made them, right? They're not stronger than you, right? So they have to use the things that they need to try to seduce you into their will. That's why it behooves every man to truly keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Look what happens, right? You've given women a bunch of rights, right? No, I'm not saying anything's bad or anything about this, but you can let them do whatever they want. But now we've seen from the early days when this nation was first established to now, we see that the clothes have considerably gotten skimpier and skimpier and skimpier.
Man, that's
to
an
now to the point where damn near they're wearing nothing, right?
Yeah.
You go to Instagram, it's damn near like a porn site almost. You know what I'm saying? You can't have your kids on there. You can't, you know what I'm saying? This stuff is wickedness. Right? They have no kind of modesty. Right? And then you got brothers out here, young brothers, you are out here in the open in the sea of wickedness. And guess what? It's going to be hard, but you're going to have to remain strong in order to change it. You're going to have to be able to, talking about fighting the temptations of the devil. Right? And see, it's not their fault either because you have to look at the heathen and what they have pushed. right? We have these so-called Jewish people over here, right? They're doing the same thing that they did when they was in Germany, right? Pushing pedophilia, pornography, right? Whores, harlots, everything that is against the Most High God, because they want you to dwell in your body, right? Because your body only goes for the lust of the flesh, right? Your body is the lust of the flesh. So that's what these heathen have pushed in America here, especially for the fall of Israel, because we know what? That we are the best of all the humans that are on the earth, but also we have the capability of being the worst of all the humans on the earth. That's the problem with Israel. That's the curse, right? Because we've always had prophets, those men that are high priests, the men that truly keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and then we've had the wicked of the wicked, Judas, Barabbas, right? Ahab, wicked ass niggas. When we gonna change? I'm tired of going through the same cycle. That's why I've been here for so damn long. I'm tired of it.
You know, it's interesting you brought up a fact, like when you talked about the dress, the clothing has damn nearly become so skimpy that it's like it's nothing now. You know, there used to be, I don't even know if they have dress codes in schools anymore. And if they do, y'all can put it in the comment box. But I don't know if they got rid of those or what though. But when I was growing up, there was a time where they had dress codes, and even all the way up to the early 2000s, there were some schools that still had dress codes where you had to have, the boys had to have pants and the girls had to have a skirt, all right, or a dress. What I meant, that covered, that came past their knees. When I grew up, it was like that. I remember I was in the elementary, and a girl for some reason came in with shorts. They sent her home. She had to have a dress on.
God.
And that was normal for us, you know, because that was the thing. And when you see the old commercials, what was that TV show, that famous TV show people used to love, Lucy and whatever that other person's name was? they was sleeping in separate beds. It was like, that's the kind of stuff they showed, you know. So it wasn't, the lust factor was like far on a very low level. All right. But now, fast forward, now it's like the lust infatuation is so intense that even kids, especially young boys at a very young age, and you have social media, it's not hard to get on social media and look for porn. Hell, you can find that on YouTube.
God.
And these kids got cell phones. You know, they got these phones where they can connect to Wi-Fi. And what makes you think they're not getting on these sites and looking at that stuff? I'm talking about 5-year, anywhere from 4 to 7-year-old kids exposed to that kind of stuff. And so what do you think is going to happen when you got a generation of kids that are constantly exposed to that stuff? They become numb. They become numb to it. And like, you can't even find a version these days. It's so hard. The willful ignorance of Israel. It's so bad, y'all, that like, I don't know. It feels like it's going to be 10 times worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Because they were doing everything. I mean, it was so bad that even the young children, the scripture says, you know, all the way to young, were practicing practicing lustful sex. Kids having sex with grown men and vice versa. And that's the way it's going now. You got a group of heathens now that are trying to make pedophilia a sexual orientation. Did y'all know that?
God.
And it's going to happen. I truly believe that all this stuff that's going on, they passing laws right now to make everything. This is why the heathens are pushing as much wickedness as they can, because they want to ensure out of the midst of this, our people never rise out of that. Because that's what the Most High is coming to save. You can care less about these damn heathens. They're destroyed already. It's our people that He has chosen, and they know it, and so they're constantly keeping our people in constant sin by exposing our people to everything. The internet is like the biggest evil, you know, but can be used for good, but could be the biggest evil. It is the biggest evil out there. It's like it's just like it's equivalent to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
it's just so annoying because our people, we don't do nothing but follow the damn heathen. Like, stop doing the same thing they doing. We're not them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not them. We should not be doing the same thing that they doing. I don't know, bro.
It's a shame. But willful ignorance is going to cause our people to go to the pit, and we're seeing that. I mean, I'm seeing stuff like our people they're falling by the wayside, and we better wake up. We better wake up, Yasharal, because the scripture says in Peter that judgment will begin at the house of the Most High, and some people's not going to get a second chance. Many of our people only get one warning, and that's it. If you get more than one warning, you better consider yourself blessed, and you better take heed.
God.
You don't know when your life is going to end.
Like, we trying to blend in, you know what I'm saying? We trying to blend in with the oppressor. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really just like sit back and think about it, you know, like the mind frame of a people that want to try to blend in and look like the heathen, like you gone. You know what I mean? You're mentally destroyed. It is over with. You're like, you know what? I don't have no identity of my own, so I'm gonna try to morph into them. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I saw something on the day on one of these YouTube news channels, right? Saying that it's prejudice is because they have pushed out a black actor in the Marvel universe, you know what I'm saying, to make up, you know what I'm saying, to bring in you know what I'm saying, one of the white actors to play Dr. Doom or some craziness, right? And then I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I mean, that's a whole universe thought up by a white man about, you know, the white man created Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? He created all of this stuff. Why are you lobbying? They're talking about some, you know, it's racism because, you know, they've kicked you out of something that they've created. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. It's like, why is our people concentrated on that stuff? You know what I mean? I'm like, man, it's just like, man, they've got us so sucked into their world, right, that we just can't you know, back out and then see what the hell's going on. I don't know. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I just wanted to put Stockholm Syndrome up there. Stockholm Syndrome is a way of describing the emotions bonds which some people can form with a captor or abuser. I mean, that is our people to a T, because we have become so much like to a T. The way we deal with money, the way we dress, the way we act. I mean, we have become them.
God.
Just like that documentary I sent y'all last time, we have become them to a T. And then to make ourselves feel less threatening, you know, we try to do things to make ourselves feel less threatening. Like, how you gonna do? They should be the ones. It should be the other way around, because they're the threat, not us.
Literally, we're you know we're only a small portion of the population, but yet they keep us on the news like we're a threat. Right? It's purpose manipulation, right? It's purpose manipulation. Also, they want to have your own people scared of your own people, right? There was a little thing that was going on around. I saw that was going viral, talking about black people were, Israelites were saying, well, you know, I'm scared of my own people. You know, I'm scared of my own people. You know what I'm saying? Because this and that, right? They're doing these things on purpose, right? I mean, like, it's just the greatest, you know, mastermind plan of Satan that I've ever seen, right? Man, do you know how many souls of Israelites that Satan has claimed? How many souls in our families, in our own family, that we've seen died? We know they're not getting the kingdom.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We know they went to hell. They know they're going into the lake of fire. Right? Isn't that, you know, so that should be scary, right? These heathens have manipulated our people for hundreds of years, thousands of years. We have not gone back to our land yet, and it's been thousands of years. I mean, damn, right? How long are we gonna, you know, I mean, like, when are we gonna get it?
read in give me a second here. Just like that verse we read in Jubilees chapter 1 and 14, where it talks about, our people are gonna end up crying out to the Most High, because right now we're not crying out, and it's gonna take something huge. I don't know what that is. I don't know how long that's gonna be. But just count on going to the grave, because we're gonna be here for a while, and the Most High is gonna allow all this stuff to happen until he has a remnant, just like he says in the scriptures. Now we're destroying ourselves through several ways. One, of course, is through wickedness, not keeping the laws, and then you got our people that are having babies with the heathens. You're destroying your seed line. You can't call that child Israel after you spread your seed with a heathen. That heathen is a mutt or a mamzer, as you call it. All right, you don't destroyed your seed, so our people are being destroyed. That so we are really, man, as a people, we are really diminishing. And when the scripture says a remnant, I should have believed, it means a remnant, like so-called Negroes is going to be extinct probably in the next 50 to 75 years. The way these folks are going, especially in the U.S. All right.
But you know what?
Especially the U.S.
You know what's crazy, right? Is that in all statistics, right, should say that these heathens should have been killed us off. Right, they should have been killed us off, right? Because they damn sure tried, right? Because we done went to the transatlantic slave trade, right? We done went to the sub-Saharan slave trade, and this is just in the last 2,000 years, you know what I'm saying, that we know of, right? Hey, I'm talking about they used to cut off private parts, beat you to death, rape you, dude. I mean, come on now. We have gone through it, right? We've been going through it for a minute. They tried to kill us. By all statistics, they should have, right? But the scriptures say, see, this is why you must believe. The scriptures say that our days does not have numbers, right? They're innumerable. The days of Israel are innumerable. No matter what, they'll never be able to kill us, right? So it's a curse in itself that no matter what, that our people will, continue to go through hardships until he sends his son back, right, to gather his people, to give us spiritual bodies and to gather us back into Israel, right? So you have to really think about the legacy that you're going to leave your children, right, and your children's children, right, because you don't want them to go through the curses. You don't want them to go through a hard time of bondage, of captivity, because they refuse to keep the commandments. Why, right? It starts with you. It starts with you right now that's listening, right? Any other brother and sister, right, that you spread the word to, it starts with them. Because if they can bring the law, statutes, and commandments home to their children, and their children can bring it to their children, and so forth and so on, then we can really start this work up and we can get up out of here.
Facts.
Man, we still got brothers in the, down in the spiritual world, resting, waiting for us to get it right. Abraham waiting, Moses waiting, David waiting. We still haven't sealed the 144,000 yet. Niggas is wicked. We got to do our part, every single one of us. We got to stop acting like we're the heathen, because we're not. We're not them.
And the Most High has a way of getting his people's attention. And the glorious part about it is that he already knows who the remnant is. He already knows who the 144,000. Remember, the 144, there's a lot of the 144,000 that's already in their graves resting with the righteous forefathers. But there's still some 144,000 that has not been, counted yet, because they're still alive. We just don't know who they are. All right, because remember what the scripture says. It says, "Hurt not the earth nor the sea until my 144,000 are sealed." So that right there tells you that we haven't. The 144,000 has not been completely sealed yet, and we don't know how long that's going to be. But our focus right now should be on these laws, commandments, and statutes. I'm telling you, if you practice that, everything else will fall in line. The blessings, yeah, we'll still be under the curses, but you won't. It won't be like devastating for you. You know, you'll see a difference when you keep the commandments. You'll see a huge difference. Even though we'll still be at the mercy of our enemies, but our enemies will be at peace with us and fear us. But for those who refuse to keep the Most High's commandments, man, that's scary. Like being on the outside like that, and you don't even, and it's like you don't even think nothing's wrong with you. You think you're okay. You think you're fine. You know, and you going strictly against the Most High because you done prayed to some white Jesus, and you claim that he's answered your prayers. When the scripture says that if you don't keep my laws, commandments, statutes, even your prayers will be an abomination unto me. So you've deceived you deceived yourself. I mean, can you tell people like that? They're gonna have to see it the hard way.
Bring it all out.
Right. With that being said, I don't have too much, but we can open up for questions. And unless you got something, brother.
We'll bring this last scripture out, and then while I do that, y'all boys prepare y'all questions if y'all have any. All right, so 1 John chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. Right, this is one of my favorite scriptures right here. Right, besides Luke 1:68 through 72. Whenever you're talking to one of our people that's caught up in any of these false doctrines, and they refuse to keep the commandments, and they say that, oh, God's going to take me as I am, and the willful ignorance and this, that, and the third, right? You have to stick to this right here, right? Stick to this particular scripture, right, for a basis, right? It says, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Right? This is all in one, right? Encapsulation. Keep them within this box. Right? Because this is the box that we need them to be in for them to understand that no matter what, it's just like your earthly father. If you're not doing what he's telling you to do, he's not going to be happy with you. Right? The same thing with the commandments. It's just like that's your heavenly father. He's telling you to do. He's telling you to do something, right? He's giving you a duty, right? This is your duty to uphold the commandments. I want you to be like this on the earth, to be a representation of me amongst men, right? This is how you uphold the family name. Now, if you're doing something contrary to that, of course, your father's not going to be happy with you. The same thing that we have here in the scriptures. Right? We can't let our people go out believing that, you can just act a donkey and the Most High is going to accept you. All right, Doc.
See, is that? There's just no other way around it, y'all. Our people going to just have to see that, and Most High is going to constantly bring some serious disappointment amongst our people. And the sad part about it, they're not going to even know why they're going through either. They're not going to have enough sense to realize or click, wait a minute, I'm disobeying the Most High. I'm not keeping his commandments. They'll go out and make the same dumb mistakes over and over and over. All right. Somebody have something right here? It says, how do I separate from my sleep family? Oh, live in the house with my 23 and I don't. So, brother, if I was you, man, you want to work on getting your own place. He says, how do I separate from my sleep family? It says, I live in the house with them. I'm 23 years old and don't know how to separate. Yeah, the solution to that is getting your own place. I mean, a small place, whatever. That's the easy fix right there. Yep.
That's right. And then if you don't have, man, why don't you take advantage of a part if you're living with your family, right? Obey the commandments, right? Get you a trade, go to school, get you a trade for a couple of years, and then get out and get you, get you a place of your own where you can keep the commandments without being hindered.
Because if you're living with other people that's not keeping the commandments, yeah, that's not good. Now I don't know what the situation is, like brother was saying, if you got some skills or whatever, if you got skills under your belt, that's something that you should really rely on. And just like we were talking before, and this is a little bit off subject, but it's important, Yasharel. These heathens are out for blood, and we got so many of our people that lack the skills they need to survive on their own. And what I mean by that is being able to, like, having these trades are so important. You have no idea, because they can provide you can become self-employed. But many of our people are forced to beg the heathens for jobs, which I mean, I know it's crazy, and I'm not trying to like say that you're wrong. What you got to do, it is what it is. If you're in that situation for whatever reasons, but you can get out of it. You can start now. Like Brother Aton was saying, we were saying both, a while back ago. Look, get into a trade. Find a trade that you really like and get into it. Whether it be carpentry, plumbing. Plumbing is hot right now, especially out in rural areas like this where I'm at. Plumbing is hot because people always need plumbing work. I know how to do all that stuff myself. A long time ago, I used to work with a group of people that taught me all that stuff. And so those skills come in handy, especially if you're on a certain budget and you can't afford to pay people thousands of dollars to fix something. You're gonna have to fix it yourself. So it's good to have those skills in that. But what I'm seeing now with our people, I'm just seeing a lot of our people. I don't know what it is. It's just like they took the trades out of the schools and everything. But our people spend more time begging the white man for a job, and he don't have to give it to you. And then what are you left with? And we got to get serious, because guess what? These illegal immigrants, they're letting them in on purpose. There's a grand design behind that. Our people are being flooded out, y'all, left and right. And these illegal immigrants, I was in a Taco Bell the other day in Dublin, California. Man, Bob, did you know that Taco Bell, man, they were blasting that Mexican music, man. They had it blasted. I like, how can you come over here in this country, man, and you blasting that music, man? They had that Mexican music going, boy. I'm like, dang, man. Yeah, crazy, man. All right, what's other?
It says, my question is, could the Most High be talking about our spirits when he talks about us being made in his image, since he is a spirit, right? The Most High is the one that gives us the spirit, right? We're only alive through the spirit of the Most High, and that's why he's able to control us being whether we're dead or alive, right? He has the power because he's the one that's given us the spirit, or the ruach, which is energy, right? It's the thing that animates us. And he does have a body, right? So it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down and the Ancient of Days did sit. So if you're sitting down, you got to have a body. It's not, it's not a spirits that are sitting, right? Whose garment, right? If you have a garment on, that means you have a body and your garment is covering your body, so forth and so on, right? So he has a head, and, his head is pure wool, like our people, right? And it says, this, that, and the other. But I was just bringing this out so you can understand that, he does have an actual body. Right. So in the spirit, the ruach, it comes from the Most High, the Almighty. The Almighty, the Almighty ruach is the same thing that animates Hamashiach and all the angels, right? And the four guardians that are around the throne, and the 24 elders, and all of that. All of that is powered, right? And every star and the sun and the moon and everything that you see, right, is powered through the Almighty God. Right, without him, none of this stuff would exist. If there was no Almighty, right, none of this, then we would have no spirit to exist, because all of those spirits come from the Almighty, right? They don't exist on their own. You know what I'm saying? They only exist through the will of the Almighty.
That's right.
Any other questions? Let me see.
Let's see one. Oh, but yep, that's the one I was gonna. We brothers can use the serials and keep the laws. We're seeing. So we technically, I mean, all the videos we do, we always reference the laws. But if you want to go back in our past vids, we have plenty of the scriptures that's dealing with the laws. Now, if you're talking about a particular law, maybe like I don't know if there's a law, like for example, the dietary laws, marriage laws. If there's something that you feel like, hey, y'all want us to cover, just let us know. You know what I'm saying? Because we know there's 633 laws, so 613 laws. All right, but those a lot of those laws too, you know, only some only applied to priests, some only applied to women, but they can be broken down into different categories. Because you know, of course, you have your marriage laws, you have your judgment laws, which we don't, because we don't have the judgments here. You have your dietary laws, your sacrificial laws, which Hamashiach became the sacrifice itself. So when you look at it and break it down in those categories, you can kind of digest the laws and everything. All right. Let's see here.
Yeah, I thought we finished that, man. Maybe we have to. I thought we finished that laws, man.
We did. We covered all the basic
ones.
I
thought we did. Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah. So just if you just go back to the previous videos and everything, and you'll see them, because I know we covered the dietary laws. We definitely covered the marriage laws. We did the judgment laws, which were done back in the past. All right. We did the law of sacrifice, which Hamashiach became. That's why when we do our feast days, you know, we do everything, but we just don't do the sacrifices.
That's right.
So yeah, but we did do a series on that. But like I said, if you guys have, and I don't mind hitting it again if you feel like, hey, you didn't really get it soaked in or something like that, just let us know what laws you want us to cover.
What? Hold up.
Yeah.
Who are the new the Gentiles, brother, right, are currently all of Israel that does not understand anything. Like a Gentile period, right, is the 10 tribes, right? That's what they were considering in the scriptures, right? In the scriptures, right, the Gentiles are the 10 tribes of Israel, right, that was scattered, right? Because the southern kingdom, right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right, they've always kept the traditions of the Most High God, right? You know, so that's what was going on, and they were upset about Paul coming and saying that, hey, man, you know, you can't keep the law of judgment anymore. You can't, you know, stone a homosexual. You can't stone an adulteress and kill them anymore, right? You can just, you know, now you have to forgive them and give them grace, which is their whole life, to repent. And if they don't, the judgment falls into the hands of the Most High, right? So that's what, and so, in fact, any brother and sister right now that is on the earth that doesn't know that they are an Israelite, they would be considered a Gentile. That will be one of Israel descent, right, that has fallen into the ways of the heathen.
Hey, so to help you out more on that, if you read the book of Hosea, go back and just read the whole book of Hosea. Those are the 10 tribes, the northern tribes that the scriptures are talking about, because the Most High had given them a bill of divorcement because Judah had caused them to worship idols. So they fell off the map and everything for a while. Now they're coming back on the scene in Paul's days. That's why when you look at where the places that Paul went to, these were the same places where the so-called Gentiles, the Sephardic, the Greeks, and the different races of people at the time. I mean, not races of people, but different of our people who were with the different races of people, you know, were that's what Paul was going to, all right, because he was reaching out to our people, the Negroes. All right. So that's what that was all about. It was the northern tribes, basically, because they had gone, they like us, they've been so far removed from the laws that they forgot. Don't even know how to keep the laws anymore. So now they had to start over like little babies now. All right, did Jacob. No, did Jacob's trouble happen already? Not our Jacob's trouble, because you got to understand too. When the scripture says that the Most High says that we will cry out, so that means that something huge is going to happen before our people cry out. Right now, we're not going through Jacob's trouble because everybody can get in their BMWs and their Mercedes and whatever cars they got and go anywhere they want.
That's
Ain't
right.
nobody suffering. Everybody on social media and dancing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, where's the Jacob's trouble at? This ain't Jacob's trouble.
Our people are really just coming back into the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
It's been really snatched from us, from the days of our captivity, the hardcore bondage that we was going through, right? And we got after we got, carried over here on ships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Now listen, right? Remember, right? Brother Anderson right here, right? When you're reading the scriptures, right, you have to keep the commandments in order to understand the scriptures. That's the trick to understanding and getting a clear understanding of the scriptures, is keeping the commandments, because you got to remember the fear of the Lord, right, and the obeying of the commandments is what gives you wisdom, right? Wisdom gives you the ability to understand, understanding, right? That gives you the ability to perceive, what the scriptures are talking about, and for you to apply them every day in your life, right? If you are not keeping the commandments, you will not understand the scriptures, right? You'll be like, Pastor Porkchop, he'll read the scriptures all day, right? But yet at the end of the sermon, he'll have you down there and up under the tents eating eating pork, because he doesn't understand the commandments, because he's not doing them. Right? It takes an understanding. You have to do the commandments in order to get an understanding of the scriptures. It's the action of doing it that changes your life. Oh man. Well, brother Abe. Look, I'm gonna let you pray about that, brother Abe, the situation you got going on with the wife. What? Hey, mamzer is a mamzer. It is what it is, right? What does the scripture say? All right, if you make any children with her, they're not gonna get the kingdom. That's that's just that's what it is. Let me see. Any other questions? If not, Israel, I think that'll be about it. Now remember, pray, fast, right? If you have any questions that you need to be really answered, those that are deeply spiritual, right? I pray that you brothers pray, right? Pray and fast to the Most High, right? Fast for a couple of days and ask for an answer, and the Most High, he will most definitely put something on your spirit and give you an answer, right? You got to be serious when you're praying to the Most High. Try writing something down beforehand, right? Because the scriptures say you shouldn't be babbling in the face of the Lord. Don't be saying just any old thing, right? Try writing something down. Try to be, direct, for it. Because you see that, the Psalms, they were prayers that are written down, right? This is not something that Daniel and everybody like that, they're just coming up off the top of their head. These prayers that we have that's written in the scriptures. All right. Brother Daniel, last words?
Yeah. Oh no. One more. I had somebody hit says, please explain. Let me put it there. Please explain to me what the new moon and what we should do on that day. So A. Smith, if you go back through our lessons, we did, and I would tell you, but I really want you to go back and seek the scriptures. We give plenty of scriptures. If you go back through the lessons, we have new moon lessons, and we explain what the new moons. But you cannot. You can cook on a new moon. You cannot buy or sell. It is treated like a holy day. No sex on a holy day because it's defiled. All right, you cannot defile that day with any wickedness. So it is to be kept as a holy day. Don't work or servile work. All right, that's making money or anything like that, or a profit. All right, but you can cook. You can get out there, get the grill out, and do your grill and everything.
All right. Hold on. Let me show him a picture real quick. because I want you to also know, like, the new moon is the first light of the moon, right?
Mhm.
So, like this little photo right here, like we see just a little bit of light right here that's coming in, right? That is the new moon, right? It's not when it's totally dark, right? Because there's nothing new in there. It's just an empty vessel, right? What makes the moon new is the light that it receives, right? The new light that it receives, that's what makes the moon a new moon, right? All right. It's just like the Shabbat, like Brother Daniel said, but the only thing you can cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still a holy day.
Con.
All right, Yasharel. Well, hey, all praise to the Most High for allowing us to come on here, give you a little word and everything, but the rest is on you, y'all. You got to study and show yourself worthy. That's going to be all. And that's something that me and Brother Aton cannot do for you. And you have to keep the commandments on your own. That's something that me and Brother Aton cannot do because we have to keep the commandments. All right. So with that being said, I don't have anything. And we're going to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong.
All right.